Hello, and welcome to the Consider Your Mind podcast. I'm your host, Eric King, and along with my co host, Mino Pachan, we're here to talk about all things mental health. Let's get into it.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Consider Your Mind podcast, episode 26.
Halfway there.
We sure are. We're halfway through the year, man. Last week we had an episode with a newcomer to the show, Jesse Bresky.
Yep.
Forgive me if I said his name wrong, but pretty much he was sharing his story of his battles with mental health. So if you guys missed that, go ahead and go give that a listen. And this week we're just gonna do things a little bit different. You know, we're just gonna switch gears a little bit just for today, kind of recap on our half of the year so far, looking back at our guests and certain topics and future things as well. And then later on, we will also have an announcement to make about a new show. So stay tuned for that. But here we have a birthday just passed for my co-host, Mr. Eric.
Yeah. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, it'll be a couple weeks after, by the time this comes out. But yeah, man, June babies unite. Go Geminis. We twice as cool as everybody, but we get twice as hated on too.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
But no, it was a good time, man. 34 years old. It's a blessing, and I got to do it as a father. My first birthday as a dad.
Nice.
And obviously we got Father's Day coming up here.
Yeah.
By the time this comes out, I think Father's Day will be just passed. So, June is a blessing. And so I actually had one of my friends came through. She got me a little cake. I'm here in St. Louis. So this is my first birthday that I haven't spent home. Even last year when I was here, I went to Minnesota, for my 33rd. So this is my first birthday in St. Louis. I live with my cousin or whatever. He wasn't around too much. So luckily, my friend brought me a cake. We watched the movie and everything like that. It was cool. We kicked it. And unfortunately, I've been a little under the weather. Maybe you can even hear it in my voice. The whole house been sick. The baby, the mama, me.
Wasn't COVID? Was it just regular sickness?
Nah. Just colds, man. Just regular old colds.
Oof.
See, exactly. And that's what people. Speaking of that, let's talk about it. Speaking of mental health, man. All right. Even when you have a simple cold, even when okay, I had this feeling before, you're in the back of your mind. It's like, should I get a COVID test? Should I get tested for this? You're all of a sudden worried. Like I found myself being extra cautious, even though this is something you felt this thing before, but now because it's that anxiety of like, oh well, what if I got COVID and a cold, but I don't know if it's that, and all these other possibilities come into your head. So yeah, man, anxiety. It's not good for your anxiety. No, it's not. Just even getting regular sick. Yep, grown people birthday, man. Yeah, grown folks, man. I ain't got the energy to hit the clubs and nothing like that. And plus, it's been hot, no lie.
Oh, man, the weather is, it's the slap your mama kind of weather.
You said slap your mama type of weather.
It's just angry, man. Like, you just go about your day. Everything just get on your nerves. You're hot. You're hangry, too. And it's just like, man, just need to cool off.
Yeah, man. Shout out to all the HVAC workers that, keeping this AC pumping, keeping people really sane. That's what's really doing it, especially for us work from home people. Because you don't get that office AC. That's the best part about being in the office in the summer, that AC be pumping.
I heard on the news today that it was out in Arizona. It's been 110 degrees for the past 4 days. Nah.
Yeah, I hear that. The desert, man, Arizona, like, it really 100 degrees over. Like,
that's like that dry heat,
just
too.
Stays over it.
Oh, it's horrible. I remember last time I was in Vegas, it just happened. It was so hot out, like the sky looked white. Like everything was bright. It was in a cloud in the sky. I walked outside, and as you're leaving the casino hotel area, I could feel the heat on my sandals as I'm walking toward. Like I could feel it. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's 10 in the morning, bro.
You can feel that concrete.
It was 10 in the morning because I was there with my buddies and we wanted to go get some shades, but we have to go outside, and I'm like, dang. I don't know if all right, let's go. And I get outside as we're walking through the casino, slowly get towards the exit, the doorway, you can feel that heat coming in. I'm like, oh man, the air feeling a little bit different. It's different. My feet are telling me, yo, you better turn back. But we get outside, we open the door, and that heat just went, phew. I'm like, oh.
It's like a blow dryer.
I like sucked the air out of my lungs, man. And I was like, and then on top of that, once we got out the shade, everything was just white. I was like, oh, I couldn't see. I was like, it was hot. It was hanging.
You gotta have sunglasses there.
It was never again. Bought my glasses, went back inside, went in the pool and just chilled. I was like, nah,
Yeah, man.
it's not good to be out there.
Hmm. Not about that life no more. See, when we were younger, I remember even being sports. We used to talk about our sports days a lot. But you're doing 2-a-day practices in the summertime. Just getting a little hour, in between to recharge. Never. I can't imagine doing none of that stuff no more. Like my energy level. We've talked about this too. Even to get angry, all this stuff, upset, it just drains you. And at this point in my life, man, I need all my energy to, keep my sanity and my wits about me.
Right.
I can't be fighting the elements and fighting. So,
Yeah,
definitely listen to your bodies, people. So
yes.
34 years has taught me that. That's what I'm in my wisdom in my old age.
Yeah, man. And then, we're saying obviously Father's Day is coming up. I think this episode
Mhm.
will be out on Father's Day.
No, actually, week after.
Is it the week
The
after?
week after Father. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, man. Slightly
Yeah, so-
ahead, people see. That's a little preview and all our stuff.
And
Mhm.
you got any plans?
Actually, my best friend's coming up. My boy Brian, my homie from the Bahamas.
Okay.
We went to college together. He's he's got 2 kids of his own, and so he's the veteran in the game. So he's coming up from he's actually living in Illinois right now, but he's driving down tomorrow to spend the weekend with me. So celebrate
That's what's
it.
up.
He'll get to meet my son. He'll be the first person outside of my family here in St. Louis. Actually, no, my first family member period because my cousin hasn't seen him. He'll be
Oh.
the first. Yeah. Because again, he's been sick this last week too, so I haven't actually even seen him in like a week and a half. Man, I miss my little bit. Just
Yeah,
FaceTime him
watch.
today.
You gonna see him in
Yeah.
person. He's gonna be like growing another couple
Yeah.
inches. You're like, oh no, he's
I'm
growing
trying to
already.
tell you, man, it happened so quickly. Because he started daycare. She had to go back to work. For summer school. She works in the school district,
Okay.
and so he started some daycare, and of course that's where you get sick at. That's where all the germs and all
Of
the other
course.
people around and stuff like that. So just dealing with that, man, that part of parenthood. They didn't tell me about that part.
Hey man, I was actually gonna ask you. Okay, so during the whole time of when you found out to coming to terms with like I'm about to be a father,
Yep,
how was your
somebody's
mental health
daddy.
during that stage? And even now, how's your mental health been evolving around being the first time father so far?
It, you know what? Night and day, man. When I first got the news, initially I was distraught. I was,
Yeah, of course.
man, it was a whole other level.
It's understandable.
Yeah, man, yeah. But people kept telling me, give it some time, give it faith. Once the baby's here, you'll feel differently, things like that. And my therapist as well, he did a great job of just listening and validating my feelings. Like, hey, certain things didn't go the way you wanted to, and without that person. And so shout out to Bria, shout out to the mother of my child, for really, kind of being understanding and giving me a lot of space, to just feel a lot of things. So I had to just bide my tongue. We didn't have a whole bunch of communication during that time, honestly, because I just wasn't in the mental space to do it. I really needed some time to work through all my emotions and have a safe space, with a confidentiality agreement and all of that stuff, and along, some friends, I could say certain things to you and very personal friends, like to get certain things out of my system because I didn't want that to interfere once the child was here, once me and her having to be with, together and interact and co-parent. I know you can't take things back that you say. Once you say it, like words are like bullets. I've heard of. Once they're out there, they're out there. Once they're fired off, you can't take them back. And so I did a lot of caution. I exercised a whole lot of caution in my communication, with her, because, again, mind you, the timeline, people are like, she told me she was, 5 months pregnant, like mid-December, right before we launched the podcast. And so I only had 4 months, up until April, just a couple months ago, to really deal with this mentally. I didn't even get the full 9 months, that she would, to process everything. So I felt like I kind of went through like an emotional roller coaster. But I had to go all the way through it. And then on the other side of it, once my son was actually born, and you see him and everything like that, I got to see him once he came home from the hospital. And like like I always use this analogy, was like, he just became this giant in my world. Like, he's like this huge thing, man. Like,
Hold up, before you go on, describe that feeling when you first held him.
yeah,
Like actually held
man.
him.
It's like that Lion King thing, Simba.
That's an amazing moment.
One day this would all be yours, Nah, actually, it was I can remember it because I'm sitting there, and her mom is to the left of me. I sit down on the couch. She's to the right of me. She has him all bundled up, and then she's passing him to me, and I'm just like holding him, and he's so light too.
Oh, your heart must have been pounding.
Yeah, he's just like, no, my heart wasn't pounding. I was just smiling, like looking, like I was so happy, like and it's been like that ever since. Every time I'm around him, like I smile. People that know me, I smile all the time. I'm a very,
that's awesome.
I got in trouble for smiling way back in the day in like basketball tryouts in middle school.
Gosh, of course.
I've literally got in trouble for smiling, but this was a whole nother thing. Like it's like it's all worth it. Everything, all the emotional stuff I felt, all the stuff that I know I'm gonna have to get into with the co-parenting thing. But when I look at him, it's all worth it. He's beautiful. It doesn't hurt that he looks like me too.
Yeah, I can't imagine that feeling, man. I could only be.
Yeah, it's all worth it. Everything is fine. It's a beautiful thing.
I just think I'd be extra emotional, man. The whole yo, it's like, this is my son. You know what I mean? Like, dang.
And I thought I would be too. But I think it was a thing, like, because that was my first time seeing her in all those months. I hadn't seen her in months. Like the whole time she was pregnant, we actually didn't see each other. Honestly, I wasn't ready to, probably. And so I think I was in front of them, and it was just, I didn't cry till weeks later. I didn't cry till actually I was out of town. At my buddy's house who's coming here. I was at his house on the back porch, and that's when it kind of hit me because it was all coming so fast, and I didn't have any alone time with him or anything. I was holding him, in front of them, and maybe it's the machismo or whatever it is, but I wasn't, feeling like I was gonna break down in front of them. It was more like I was just so laser focused, all my attention. I was just looking at him, every piece of him, yeah. And in my mind, everything was gonna work out. So. All right, need diaper money. All right, you need this. All right, daycare. Okay, I'm just seeing, possibilities instead of like it being a problem. I'm
That's
like, okay, we'll make it happen. No problem.
That's what's up. That's how you should look at it, man.
I'm telling you, it was
I mean?
just like, that was my attitude. I was on it. Like, all right, no problem. Snap. What else is next? Cool.
If you're not looking at it like that, you're not ready to be a father. You know what I mean?
And again, and it does help. I'm 34, not 14 over here. I'm not some teen father. I'm very, very grown.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But everyone's experience is very different. So man, I'm just proud of you, man. I'm happy for you. I'm happy he's healthy. How big was he when he was born?
I think he was 7 pounds even. 20 and a half inches.
7 pounds even. Wow.
Yeah. So healthy baby boy.
By 3, huh? 7 pounds, 21 inches.
Yeah, almost 21 inches long. So and he's I think 9 pounds now. Last she told me. Whew. Yeah, just had his 2-month checkup. So just that fast, man. He's growing like a weed, man. So I can't wait till we all get better. He's feeling better. So we can, just do a little bit more one-on-one time and face-to-face time. And so, again, shout out to Bria, shout out to Miss Kathy, his mom and his grandmother, because they're doing everything right now.
And I want to say congratulations to them as well.
For sure, man. Yeah, and they're very happy. That's I think first grandbaby, on their side, first grandbaby for both of us, our families. So.
Dang. That's awesome.
Yeah. My parents said they're gonna come down, so that's cold blooded, man. My parents, they don't come down for me. Another state, St. Louis, they don't come down for me, but I have they grandbaby now. They want to pop up. Okay, I've been, of
course,
already being replaced, man.
Of course, they got someone new in their life.
Already claiming that my mama,
and it's
my
their
mama
favorite.
say, "Oh, you got dimples like me." I said, "Lady, I got the dip like whatever." Man.
Yeah.
You just, so it's a lovely thing, man. But hey, it's just starting, man. So hey, any helpful hints, I take all. I have no ego about this thing.
Right.
Any parental co-parenting advice anybody wants to give me, any non-custodial parenting, tidbits on how to pull this thing off successfully.
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
Yeah, let us know. You guys
for
reach out. If you're listening, go ahead and reach out. You might be another guest on the show talking about your experience and everything like that, just like Jesse in the last episode.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to be, we already have a family show, Family Stress Part 1. And so, that's a Part 1. We're going to have the Part 2. That's why, talked about other things in the family, the fatherhood, the parenting parts of things, and the stress that had.
Well, there'll be more to come. So, it's already at the half-year mark for us, so we're doing a little celebration here.
Yeah, man, a little half-year recap. It's amazing, man. Half year. We've been doing this literally, half year. It's 26 episodes deep, man. It's amazing, bro. I'm proud. I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else, bro. So I appreciate you.
Crazy, man. Just think about, it's like, man, it's like our I know we don't have a big following yet, but it's growing, and it's the long game.
Yeah, and loyal following, man. People really do, they hit us up like tell us about episodes, really.
Yeah, feedbacks, telling their stories, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, and actually, and it means a lot because I had a friend from college reached out to me recently, and he had experienced a loss with a friend taking his life, a childhood friend, and I'd heard from other people around because we have similar friends that he was taking it hard and rough, and so he actually reached out to me the other day and just said that episode where I talked about my friend dealing with that loss, dealing with loss part two. He said that helped him with his situation. And that's what it's all about. We try to be relatable, try to, be vulnerable and, live this real life with you all and, let you know that you're not alone and that you're going through it. You know, it's a through. It's not, a stagnant. I know it sucks at that time. But, there's light at the end of the tunnel always.
Yeah, yeah. And, looking forward to the next 6 months. We're sure we'll be having some.
Yeah, man, the next half of the year, got to do it bigger and better.
We for sure will be having some guests returning, like Steve.
Yeah, that's the fam. We got family members now.
We'll get some more people in, and obviously we got new guests coming in as well. So stay tuned for that. And then we have one more announcement, and that is we're gonna have another show, a second show called "Let's Talk About It."
Let's talk about it.
And it's gonna be, just me, Eric, our good buddy Stephen Moore. We're gonna be just having conversations. We're gonna talk about where it's gonna be a podcast where we're really just talking about anything and everything, sharing stories, thoughts on certain topics, mainly just having general conversations with day-to-day life. And we will be bringing guests on there as well, and just having regular conversation, like maybe just a guys' night where you would just be out barbecue and having a couple of drinks and relaxing with the homies and just talk. And that's about it.
Yeah, those intellectually stimulating conversations.
Yes. Like our conversation is going to be anywhere from does pineapple belong on pizza to aliens to sports to whatever. Whatever's on the mind, whatever's going on at that time. And we'll be able to stay current too.
Yeah, and of course stuff that's going on in the news, stuff that's important because even as we've done this so far, so much has happened since we've even started the podcast, that we don't really get to touch on, consistently. We get to touch on it a little bit, but this will be an opportunity for us to continue conversations, really and to stay on the pulse of stuff that matters, to you all.
Yep, and that show is gonna be more. For the adults, I guess you could say.
Yeah, exactly. It's not quite as PC, what I'm saying?
We'll be talking about anything and everything. So just take that as you will. And that's going to be posted in 2 weeks. Our first episode will be coming out soon, and those will drop on Mondays.
Yeah, exactly. So consider your mind podcast. CYM dropping on Sunday as normal, but then right after that, let's talk about it. Will be dropping Monday, and so we'll get your week started off with plenty to talk about, plenty of entertainment, plenty of stuff to get your mind going as you carry on throughout your week. So can't wait for that, man. But man, got to do it bigger and better in the new year, man. I know people have been waiting for us to do some video stuff and all of that. So this is all a step towards all that stuff.
Yeah. So we're growing along with you guys, and
yeah. Yeah, man. But I got a couple questions though. I can't let you get away with that. See you trying to get out of here. See, we getting old, man. We're getting tired out here. But no, this heat getting to us. But I gotta know, man. We've been doing this thing for 25 episodes prior to this. Out of all those episodes, which one was your favorite one?
Let me see.
I know that's rough, man. Exactly. Think about it, like, yeah.
It is rough. I want to say my favorite one is probably when we had Steve and his wife on.
The Love You to Life episode. That's a good one. Yeah, that was episode 18.
So yeah, just has got to hear a little bit more of what it's like and how it affects the family, and you get to hear from the supportive side and the person that's actually going through it. So it was a nice insight, great information, great conversations. So
that's what's up.
Yeah, that would be my favorite.
Nice.
What about you?
My favorite one. That's a good one. There's been so many. Definitely Love You to Life. It was up there. I was thinking about doing that, but you've definitely taken that one now. Uh, but I think probably the dealing with failure episode was a deep one to me. You know, I thought like we started to think about stuff that think I thought was very relatable. I think that was probably one of my more relatable episodes. You know, it wasn't quite as personal. Again, we started off literally just telling our personal stories, our journeys, how we got here. But dealing with failure and kind of that idea, I think that was that was like episode 9. That's when I was like, okay. After I got done with that episode, I was like, you know what? I think this. I think we're really saying something here, and I think this can be helpful. Like this is a good message. Like that kind of like you know because again we were just starting. We was only that was our 9th episode, and we had just done Steve's episode. He coming on the he came on for episode 8 talking about his journey to sobriety. You know, prior to that we had Rupert on, so we're getting the flow going. And then I think episode 9 dealing with failure. That's when I was like, you know what, I think we could really do this. This could really be something. So it was just kind of a feeling I got from the episode and doing it more than anything, and a little bit of feedback from the people. They did like it. So sorry to any of our guests. You guys, I thought about again. Close second though was Rupert's first episode 5. Talking about hypnotherapy and hypnosis, introducing that stuff. That was very close. I was like, yo, we really got a real therapist on here. That was just that was a hype thing for me. Um, so I guess into that vein, I guess all right. Who's your favorite guest then? And I know who you better say because you got people probably listening. But who's your favorite guest? Because we had quite a few. Let's have a recap. We've had James Jerry. About to become a therapist. We've had Courtney Dollins, licensed professional counselor. She was on. We've had Rupert. He was been on twice. We've had Steve on 3 times. And then I guess his wife counts as another one. And then of course we had Steve's homie, James Bretsky. Bretsky, his last episode on borderline disorder. And then you have your girl. See, so no pressure. Leela T. We had her too. So.
I want to say for me would probably be Steve's friend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, bro,
James Bresky.
Mr. Bresky, bro.
Yeah. He had a crazy story, and I was really
yes,
entertained.
the episode previous this one again. If you guys listen to this order, and again, do yourself a favor, skip back one. It's episode 26. Go back to 25. The energy.
Yes, I love.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. I was very entertained.
Yeah, man. And quick story about how that all came about was, we're going through topics that we want to cover, schizophrenia, narcissism, depression, bipolar disorder, things that people are going through. And then borderline personality disorder was on the list. And so, but, obviously I wasn't familiar with it at all. We don't have a lot of familiarity with that. But we had let Steve know, that, this episode coming up. And he had just happened to, say, hey, have a buddy, James, he, has been diagnosed with that. And I said, perfect, because we really would rather have somebody talk about it that has experience with it. And, end up calling him on the phone, talking briefly, and then he ended up being on the show, man. So, again, connections, people, relationships, are one conversation, one handshake away from dang near anybody you need to know. So, man, shout out to him for coming on. Again, I think he brought us back to the vulnerable days for real. He was the picture of vulnerability. He couldn't, wait to help somebody with his story. And I definitely, we definitely appreciate you, bro. And so, I guess along that same line, man, I guess it got to be your girl Leela. Your girl Leela Teasy, Leela T. I loved her energy, man.
She was another one with the good energy.
Bro, the energy, so, okay, sorry, experts. I know we have licensed therapists that came on. I guess you guys should be our favorite guests. But nah, man, the people in the field, those are the ones that, again, when you're doing it, when you're interacting with them, it's like energy. And I could imagine, what I imagine, man? I can't wait till we get our own studio really set up and can do, some stuff live, like, and really interact with the guests, because we were all doing this digitally, obviously. So I can't wait to get the energy in the room a little bit, the next time.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
Yeah, could you imagine again, like if we, getting that on film and stuff like that? So again, people, the future is so bright. And again, thank you so much to all the guests that we have coming on. And then, I guess, yo, man, what topic do you really want us to cover? Like, actually, have you had a favorite topic that we covered so far?
We've covered a lot. I think for me it would be
Yeah, we've had a lot of topics. So
when we talk about anxiety. For me, just because that's one of the
okay, anxiety, that
biggest
shit.
things that I've dealt with most of my life, and to hear other stories and situations like that really helps. Dealing with anxiety because it's so common and it's so like everyone has dealt with it at some point or another. But I don't know. It's just anxiety. I just feel like it's more
Mm-hmm.
fits at least my my issues that I got going on. So it's nice to hear the stories about that.
No, that's what's up. That makes a lot of sense because I can definitely relate. You talking about how did I feel, in the months leading up to my son being born, doing the podcast, that anxiety, that, holding tension. Like, I
Yeah.
experienced a lot of anxiety, so I'm learning a lot about that in myself, man. So I feel you. And I guess for me, um, that narcissism, man, once I started learning about, like, covering that episode and stuff, again, we just scratched the surface of it, too. But really kind of diving into it and getting to the different types of narcissists and I mean, it's one of those things. The episode, hey, go back and listen to it, episode 23, if you haven't. You'll start to identify quite a few things in yourself in it. We all have narcissistic traits. And I actually talked to my therapist our last session about that. I said, hey, man, I think I got a lot of narcissistic traits, and he said, hey, we all do, you know. And he talked, briefly, like, about being raised by a narcissist, being raised by people with borderline personality disorder. That's a whole another topic and something to be touched on later. I can't wait to do that in future episodes because it's a lot more common than we think and it affects so many people, and we encounter people going with it so much, and that it really affects our lives. So don't want to overuse the word at all, but yo, man, this narcissism thing is serious. Yeah, followed closely by the trauma subject. This shout out to uh, the PTSD and me episode, and obviously we just did the one with Rupert talking about life after trauma. Um, Definitely got to do some more stuff on that too. So, but yeah. So in the future, I guess what would you like to cover? What should we cover? Next, man. Besides, I guess we should ask the
I
people that more
mean,
than anything. But I know I got a
yeah.
couple more
If you
things.
guys want us to cover, if you guys want us to cover a certain topic, let us know.
Yeah, man. But I look forward to. He said one thing. It was growth. I definitely want to do that. 'Cause I was hinting to it in the episode. I said, okay, I got the next idea. Post traumatic growth. I got to do something on that. Um, Even like an article or something, because we still have the Consider Your Mind blog. Your boy just had a baby. I've been a little, busy lately, moving around a little bit, but I'm about to get back active on that. Get our website subscriptions together. So all the people out there that have subscribed to our website, don't worry. We're just gathering the names. We're gonna, be posting on there, be able to get you those, articles, information, and really communicate to you all and get you those announcements directly. Because social media is cool, but at the end of the day, it's about communicating with the fans, directly, and addressing the people, like that. And that's how we want to connect with you. We just be DMing people. We hit people up for real. What's that expression? What they tell everybody? Pull up. Yeah, pull up, man. So, and then also, again, I guess I didn't tell you this, Mino, but um, I am going to be doing. There will be a return of Black Man in Therapy. For those of us following us in the beginning, you guys can see on our social media pages. I would do a recap of my therapy sessions, and I kind of stopped it around the time my son was born. In the April, into March time, because I think I really needed to, really use those sessions and those times, for myself, and not necessarily just do something, right afterwards. Because my purpose behind the Black Man in Therapy, sharing that I'm going to therapy is to encourage others, to go ahead and go to therapy, be consistent with it, and hold myself accountable as well, let people know, hey, I'm not just, talking it, I live this. But, I ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. I don't have to know every time I go to therapy. So I'm going to change the format of it a little bit, but, definitely covering the topic of therapy, mental health, and continue on the train of what it's been, because I think it's helped a lot of people. It's gotten great responses, and so I want to make sure as we do it going forward that it's really going to be something. So Black Men in Therapy, Black Man in Therapy, the return, is coming.
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned for those announcements, and then
Yes.
let's talk about it, man. So we got 2 new segments, you know. We about to make it official out here. And we couldn't do it without y'all, man. So thank you to the Consider Your Mind family. We official because y'all official.
Yeah, so thank you for the love and support. We do this, just to make sure that people that are going through things and let them know that they're not alone. It's okay to not be okay. So, and we want to hear your stories. So let us know, reach out. We might get you on the podcast and you can share your story to the world too.
For sure. Because at the end of the day, this is the second half mentality, man. All right, man. First half was just growth. We serious now. We laid the foundation. We drop every week. But you know what? Hey, man, we gotta make this thing sexy, man. Because mental health is sexy. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing into this next half of the year, man. Mental health is sexy, 2022. Yes, it is. Okay, it's very sexy. Why are you ruining it, Mino? Man, I bet people were nodding their heads like, yeah, man, mental health is sexy. I never even thought about it. Like, just ruined it, bro. Can't get nothing started with this guy. But yeah, man. But that's all I got, man. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, this recap episode, man. Again, drop any, tell us what your favorite episode is, favorite topic, things you want us to cover. 26 episodes deep out of 52 this year, and I can't wait to the second half, man. So can't wait to do it with you, bro. It's been a blessing, for real. All right, man. So thanks for everybody out there for listening, and we will see you next week. Peace.